to safety, and really a high level summary of ladder safety basics. Okay, some of these things are obvious, guys. Um, Anyone watching these safety videos, I get it. Sometimes it can be boring, but this is super critical. There's almost nothing more critical in your position, especially with the scope of work that we do, ladder related tasks, to ensure that you're following proper safety protocols for ladder, when you use a ladder. Okay, first and foremost, the rule that we always use is always wear a helmet when you use a ladder. Okay, this feels ridiculous at the start, but I can promise you it leaves a really good customer impression. And like we do it for a reason because it is way safer for us to be wearing a helmet if we're going to climb a ladder. We could easily fall, whatever, lots of dangerous things can happen on ladders. Please wear a helmet all the time. Okay. For your safety. I'm happy to pay you, you know, uh, for the time for you to wear a helmet whenever possible. Okay. Never try to speed through a task to not wear the helmet. Always take the time to put the helmet on. Because first and foremost, it's about your safety and, completing the task from there. Okay. Secondly, is like clearly use proper ladder placement. I'll call it. Angles. In general, you should have about a 75-degree angle when you're placing a ladder like standing. Obviously, not an A-frame. When it is standing and not an A-frame, use a ladder stabilizer. It's going to help, obviously, stabilize the ladder, as it's called. You can even put items like a pitch hopper behind the foot of a ladder so that it's unlikely to slip out. That's secondary an option compared to someone footing the ladder. It's even beneficial to do both. We oftentimes do. So put an item behind the ladder so the foot doesn't slip out. And if you have a colleague you're working with, have them foot the ladder. That's safe, most optimum for safety. And when you're on softscaping, so not hardscaping, but softscaping, so bark or let's call it bark, sometimes rocks, small rocks, you definitely can jump. I would encourage you to jump on the bottom rung of the ladder. It's going to dig into that softscaping and decrease the likelihood of, those feet slipping out. That's compared to hardscaping surfaces. The point of the last point is try not to put ladders on slippery surfaces, right? So hardscaping, especially when it's sealed, can be super slick. But wet surfaces, icy surfaces, surfaces with moss. So some driveways sometimes have moss. Downward sloping surfaces like driveways. There's no more dangerous spot in a house probably than a driveway for us. So we have to be really smart when it comes to ladder placement. Oftentimes, the best place for you to put a ladder is not on the driveway. There's probably several points on any task that you're going to be doing that are safer than putting it on the downward sloping driveway. Maybe by the gate on the side or the front door. That's probably on the opposite side. So beware of driveways because they're downward sloping. They're oftentimes wet to some degree. They might be icy, maybe mossy, etc. So always wear a helmet when you're using your ladder. Use proper angles or placement. If you can, use a stabilizer if it's standing. Have someone foot the ladder or put a pitch hopper behind it. If you're on softscaping, jump on the bottom rung. So just be safe, guys. That's the whole point. And ladders are a huge risk for us. It's a huge contributor to our insurance, and the safer we are, the better for everyone.